In this first video, I am going to remind you how to change from standard form to factored form of a quadratic. And the strategy I'm going to use to factor is the box method. So I'm just going to write that off to the side. The factoring method is we're going to use the box. And it can be a rectangle, meaning that the length and the width do not have to be the same. That's going to change when you see how to put something in vertex form. The box must be a square. So let's start off with our rectangle. And the first thing that I do is I put the x squared term in the top left. And then I put the constant, the term that does not have an x in it, in the bottom right. And then the very first part of the length and width I usually fill out is what would multiply to give the 3x squared. So I know it's going to be 3x times x. And then I try to figure out, well, what is going to multiply to give 4? Well, there's two options. It could be a 1 times a 4 or a 2 times a 2. And so I need to pick one to start with, and I just kind of guess and check. So maybe I'll start with the 1 and the 4. So to know which one is going to work, I have to take into consideration this negative 8x in my original equation, because these two boxes need to add up to the negative 8x. So let's go ahead and see if we try the 1 and the 4. I don't know where the 1 goes and where the 4 goes, so I'm just going to pick. So let's say it was 1 times 4. Okay, now I'm going to fill in these boxes. So this would be 1 times x would be x, and 3x times 4 would be 12x. Well, even I know that both of these numbers are going to have to be negative to add to a negative but multiply to a positive. So even if these were both negatives, they would not add up to negative 8x. So that can't be the right answer. But I am going to add these negatives because I know that both terms will be negative. So I'm going to erase those and I'm going to switch them around. What if this was the 4 and this was the 1? Okay, 4 times x is, or negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 3 times, or negative 1 times 3 is negative 3x. Oh, that's so close, but those actually add up to negative 7x, not negative 8x. So that means that the 1 and the 4 doesn't work. So let's try the 2 and the 2. So I'm going to erase the things in the blue box again. Try 2 and 2. Okay, negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x, and x times negative 2 is negative 2x. Okay, that works because notice negative 2x plus negative 6x equals negative 8x, which is the middle term of the original. So now I know that factored form is 3x minus 2 times x minus 2. So this right here would be factored form. And factored form is important because it quickly allows us to see what the x-intercepts are if we set both of the factors equal to 0 and solve. And we'll be practicing that next class.